Is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family. Back again with another daily Kaspa crypto live stream. I, of course, feel like I'm saying it too much recently, but I guess I've got a lot going on in my life. I apologize for not going live yesterday. Something came up, couldn't control it, and I had to take care of it. Also, just a forewarning here now, while you're all tuning in or probably watching on playback, there's a decent possibility that Tuesday's live stream will be earlier than usual, and also Friday I have another wedding that I'm going to, so there will unlikely be a live stream on Friday, but I'll make sure to provide announcements in my free Discord server so you can find out and keep up to date with what's going on with myself and equally the community as well, talking crypto, talking Kaspa, occasionally talking some politics as well, despite my own beliefs and desires regarding that matter. But either way, people have the freedom of speech to say what they want, just remain respectful. Anyways, point being is we are seeing a nice reversal from the markets today, which is good after, well, being quite a tough week, to put it bluntly. Been a very tough week off the back of the FOMC meeting where Jerome Powell was very hawkish. The PCE inflation data, which came back quite negative, saying that inflation is rising again. The job reports, which came back, very, very bad, in the sense of there's so much word out there that these numbers have been manipulated to look worse than they actually are. And again, no one really has the truth of the matter. It's all hearsay. Point being, it's an uncertainty FUD that drives markets, or unfortunately tanks markets, and we've been seeing a lot of that. And of course, Trump's tariffs have gone live again, which, while tariffs and their effect on the market is a lot lesser now than they were back on April 4th, Liberation Day, they still do have negative sentiment at the very least. Now, that all being said and done though, being Sunday right now, we are looking at a better market today, and I hope it will continue. Bitcoin right now is at 114,000, making a recovery. Right now, I think that Bitcoin is probably going to struggle and face some resistance around the 115k zone, probably around here or so. If you could break above that, as you can see, there's been two occasions where we've seen Bitcoin find support there and equally get rejected here. If we can surpass that, then I would like to believe Bitcoin is on that momentum, that push, hopefully, provided we get no uncertain announcements, as always, on that momentum to start pushing up, following the empty monitor player and go a lot higher as well. Ethereum still below that 3.5k now. Again, critical level of resistance here as well. Ethereum to surpass 3.5k. And then you look at Kaspa as well. Kaspa, which we spoke about 2 days ago in the stream. Spoke about 2 days ago that Kaspa was likely, if the market continued to act in the way they were doing so, continue correcting and find support, ideally around 8.5 or even 8 cents. Which is proven because on a number of occasions, here in particular, and even a little bit back here as well, that has been proven to be quite a critical level of resistance for Kaspa. It struggled to break above that on a number of occasions, and on the last two occasions, you even saw it consolidate below this zone of 8 cents for a week here and even 2 weeks here. So evidently 8 cents is a key level for Kaspa. So as a result, therefore, the Kaspa traders, the buyers, won't want Kaspa to go below 8 cents. And it didn't. Yesterday we saw it correct down to about 8 cents and then make a bit of a recovery. Currently, Kaspa's up 3.31% on the daily time frame, valued at 8.5 cents, and is now trading between this green zone, this green buy zone that I drew out months and months and months back. If the market continues in this direction, and of course Bitcoin surpasses 115k and continues going that move towards its all-time high of 120 odd k, 120. If it can surpass 115k and move above 120k, this zone here, then the next leg up's here, and then you'll see crypto following suit. You'll see Kaspa following suit. If you look at Bitcoin dominance right now as well, you can see Bitcoin dominance is still down today, but still very high, 62.26%. We haven't got an altcoin cycle here yet. Now, I do believe we'll still get one. I haven't seen any definitive proof that suggests we won't get one. I do hear the speculation about institutional adoption has, screwed the market so heavily, manipulated it so heavily that it may potentially remove the possibility of an altcoin cycle. I hear that, and I don't think it's illogical to say that. But I think we're also too early to call that, because we are currently in August. You saw the 2017 cycle, nothing pumped in November. Last cycle, most alts started pumping around August time. So, in accordance to the last cycle, we should be pumping now. But again, we're in a different cycle. The big altcoin catalysts are the Genius Act passing, that will give more clarity to certain assets which are commodities and or securities. Not and or, but commodities or securities. And that will, mean the commodity assets will have better clarity, more trust, and those will start pumping more so, which would be great for Kaspa, therefore, because it is definitely a commodity. Clarity Act's a big deal. Also, the SEC filing and approving ETF filings. There are hundreds of ETF filings out there. There's like 13 for XRP, equally as many for Solana. There's there for ADA. There's for Sui, some for Tau, for Litecoin. Some for Trump's coin. God forbid. They're ETFs. There are a lot out there, and the SEC won't necessarily approve all of them. But the moment they start approving some of them, that will also trigger altcoin volume and volatility. So the Bitcoin dominance is still quite high. We haven't had that altcoin cycle yet, but in my personal belief, of course it's not financial advice, my personal belief, we still have more to come. And Kaspa, in accordance to Bitcoin Maximalist, is about to go through a spectacular move. And I'll cover that post in a moment. A Bitcoin Maxi with over 2.2 million followers. He was actually one of the first, the well-renowned biggest Bitcoin Maxis who spoke about Kaspa. And I'm talking last year, he was speaking about Kaspa. He's been quite quiet on it recently, but he's now saying a spectacular, quoting the word spectacular, a spectacular move is coming for Kaspa. We'll get into that in a moment, and also the other big posts here as well, like this one from OKX, which equally looks, it's interesting, and I think it's worth covering. You've got other posts here with more ecosystem developments and more stuff being built as well. Some big updates here from Igra Labs as well, which is fantastic to see, and equally some macro news which will help set us up for what we expect to see throughout the weeks to come and potentially throughout the rest of the month. You know how we do here. So that being said, finally getting through the intro. If you enjoy the content that I do pretty much every single day, I have just surpassed 1 year of doing this stuff pretty much every single day. As of the 1st of August, that was my 1 year anniversary. So, didn't start off the greatest, doing it on the 1st, missing the 2nd, and now doing it on the 3rd, but life, right? Everyone understands life. That being said, if you enjoy the content, as always, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. And while I understand that your conviction and your resilience might be wearing thin now, you know my saying, don't be emotional, be logical, continue researching more and more, and just soak in what we're talking about here. Nothing I'm saying is financial advice, it's my own opinion based on sources of information, but soak it in and help utilize what I tell you alongside what you also do for your own research into your trading strategies. We haven't had our altcoin cycle yet. Kaspa is still extremely early, and it's not just Kaspa that is doing quote-unquote bad. Sui, while it's doing better than, when we first started talking about it, Sui is still down, 34%? No, I said Sui, not Siri. Oh, yeah, I love my phone. Love Apple products. Yeah, Sui, down 36% from its all-time highs. Say, those who are still potentially holding Say, from its all-time high, Say is down 76%, so even more than Kaspa. Tau, which have been following Kaspa quite closely, equally down 54%. You've got the other big assets, your Algorands, which is one of the big ISO 20022 assets, which I think will do very well the cycle, truth be told. From its local high, it's down 50-60%. From its all-time high, I'm not even going to bother drawing that out, it's a lot higher. H-bar, from its all-time high, 36-38%. So this is not me again trying to say, it's me just simply trying to highlight to you that while you may be struggling your conviction of crypto and whatnot, and I get it, you may be struggling your conviction of Kaspa, and I get it, the price has been down for a long, long time, longer than other projects here. We are in no different position right now, realistically speaking, than any other project. Everything's down right now, especially the altcoins. Kaspa has a harder time due to the lack of institutional investments and the VC backing that keep the project up, but it's more organic, and you're now seeing Bitcoin Maxis quickly shift over to Kaspa, which I would argue is probably the biggest catalyst for Kaspa. Don't forget the smart contracts or tier 1 listings or any of that stuff. It's still very important, of course, stablecoins as well, but Bitcoin maximalists now starting to endorse Kaspa is actually much bigger than you should be giving it credit, or you should be giving it more credit. It's a very big deal. Bitcoin Maxis, who notoriously hate everything, and they have a reason to, but Kaspa they're starting to look into. Those who are holding Zebec, due to, I guess, my videos as well, you can see Zebec right now, currently up 4.98% on the daily time frame, valued at 0.0052, and it was, as we were speaking about the stream, exactly as we had foretold, or predicted, as you say. We saw it come back. I know I was speaking to Pacod about it on the stream a few days ago. He was saying that it looks good, it looks okay, looking for opportunity to hedge in, and I was saying on stream, you can see the zones here. Evidently seem to be a zone around this 4.8 at a quantitative retracement zone, but also as you look here, you can see on the numerous occasions where you've seen either resistance or support around this zone here as well. So the rebounding here also made sense, and now currently we're up about what it looks like, it looks about 10-11% from that zone right there. Now, will we continue going up? Tough to say, of course. But we are, for the most part, with Zebec still forming higher lows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and higher highs, 1, 2, 3. So if this pattern continues, Zebec ideally, therefore, will be making this push above basically 0.006 in the coming days and maybe a week or so, provided we get no again. This is all provided we don't get any uncertain reaction in the market due to macroeconomic news weighing into the market, or even fundamental news like tariff headlines could very well shift the market sentiment quite quickly. If we get nothing disastrous that comes out, which again it's possible, the bet should hopefully be pushing above 0.006, probably finding the next zone, I'd imagine around 0.0064, 65, or equally one of these zones up here as well. That's my current 2 cents on Zebec. They're still cooking a lot of announcements. I'll probably make a video of that again later this week for those who are interested. And of course, actually, while I speak about other projects we talk about a little bit as well, Octa USDT, we can see right now it's currently up 0.25%, not really moving too much today, truth be told. And it is finding support around this 39.40 cents zone around here, which we can see again does seem to be another level. We see it continue. Tough to say. I mean, right now, Octa are trying to do a lot in regards to now working alongside Zebec, which I think is quite a good thing for them. Meaning they're now, you can use Octa and MasterCard. So you use, anything with Octa use MasterCard, which is great. Great for Octa there. And also they bought a KNS domain, so they seem to be trying to prepare to work with Kaspa as well, in a sense. I think that'll probably become more prevalent following smart contracts, which is only, 31st of August for Kaspa smart contracts. So we are, as I load up Kaspa Live right now, I think we're like 28 days away. If I'm trying to do it on top of my head right now. Kaspa Live, 28 days and 3 hours away till Kaspa smart contracts come out. And they're not the only smart contracts either, because you've got the likes of IGRA as well. So we'll get into that announcement first and foremost, but before we do, let's finally get into the questions and welcome back everyone again to the live stream. DD, whoa, my man, welcome back, brother. I told everything, good luck to everyone for the future. It was a great adventure. And of course, you're joking. I knew you were joking. You have to be crazy. The party will start soon. I want to drink champagne and be right in my vision of Kaspa. And I think we all, I pray we all, and I do believe we are all right in our vision of Kaspa. We're going to see some very, very early signs this cycle. Very early. And then, from there on out, it's sky's the limit. Now, of course, you'll see corrections in Kaspa. You've been seeing it for 2 years. You can't, again, don't be emotional. Be logical. Nothing goes up and up and up and up and up. If you think something's going to go up continuously, it's probably a rug pull, truth be told. Every project will go through corrections, especially projects that are trying to build something real. Organic projects as well, which is community funded alone, they have the hardest time. But at the same time, if they're building something truly innovative, which Kaspa is, there's no doubt about that, then it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. They've been trying to press Kaspa for a long, long time, and it's still there, top 50. Still there, top 50. You can see here, 41 CMC. They've been trying to press Kaspa for years, and it's still here, top 50. 30% for Gates, 10% for Maxis, 11% for Bybit, 7% for BitGet. Still lackluster, 61 million. It's the same old story, but we should believe in Noah Kaspa going to go, and you're going to see these big tier 1, the likes of OKX as well, and Binance and Coinbase inevitably in the future. List Kaspa, more FOMO coming in, more retail coming in, and the KRI will do their job at institutions and enterprise as well for adoption for Kaspa. So yeah, I believe our time will come, no doubt. We will see how DYX and US bond market reacts. Yeah, that will be interesting off the back of, everything that's happening right now. Also, when all this stuff ends up inevitably coming on chain as well. Welcome back, Falco, bro. You're doing very, very well. Happy Nuclear Armageddon week. I mean, there's a possibility. We saw towers come out on Friday, but we did see the market react in accordance to that. Right now, stock market is down 1.6%, which is very, very bad. That's actually very, very bad. And I'm hazarding a guess. I think that's probably because of the current news we got, or in preparation for what's about to come out. It's probably partly tariffs that's causing this massive pullback in stocks. Because we saw what happened last time, Liberation Day. You saw Liberation Day back here. Well, actually, it started here. Saw a crash, a literal crash in the stock market, down 12%. That's not good at all. Not good at all here for the stock market. So with tariffs now reinstated, of course, I don't think they cause as much effects on the market now. If the tariffs went live now, if the tariffs are going live now, the same sentiment to Liberation Day, you'd be seeing a considerable correction right now. It's currently down from the all-time high about 3%, which is quite a lot for the stock market. It's a hell of a lot. I'll see how it reacts on Monday. Now, actually, before I get into the Kaspa news and the smart contract news, let me just quickly give a bit of a potential outlook for this week. I'll be giving a much detailed, in-depth outlook for this week and month with my VIPs tomorrow, due to, again, my busy weekend, doing stuff with my family and whatnot. Not just I was not able to go live here, I also was unable to go live for my VIPs, which I don't like doing. I want to also help everybody out, especially those who are willing to learn a lot more and lock in even more so. But we're doing it tomorrow, so if you feel like you missed out, or you might have missed out, you can tune in. You come join the free IP. You can do it for free for a week. 1 week free trial. And you can tune into what we're going to be talking about tomorrow with some institutional research as well. We're going to be going live at 12 p.m. UTC, which is 9 a.m. Eastern. I believe it's 9 a.m. Eastern at least. Maybe it's 8. No, it's 9 a.m. Eastern. Or 8 a.m. Eastern. It's 1 p.m. BST and 12 p.m. so midday UTC definitely. But we'll be talking about the institutional research and the week and month outlook on the market due to institutional sentiment and what's going to be coming through. So we are prepared for what's coming through. So you'll find out a lot more there if you want to find out more. In regards to what we currently have on hand right now, I've got some interesting announcements that we'll get into. One is this one here, which could definitely cause some pullbacks, which is Fed Governor Kugler has submitted a letter of resignation from her position as a member of the Federal Reserve Board, which Trump's happy about because he will ideally try to fill that position with someone who obviously supports his beliefs. Right now you have 2 Feds who want to cut rates and 9 who don't. She is now resigning, which I believe is going to be happening in August, next week or something. I think it's August 8th she's resigning, very, very soon, so this week I think. Then you'll see likely that Fed board member replaced by someone who Trump wants in. And then you'll see that go from 9 to 2 to 3 to 8. So it's starting to shift more and more towards Fed members who are in favour of cutting rates, which, again, you know my sentiment on that. That's one potential news that could have, for me, that's actually either or. It could be great or bad for the markets, depending on how people see it. I think people, for the most part, are actually frustrated with the Fed not cutting rates, but also, in a sense, almost happy. Because I think people, from what I've been seeing, more and more people are starting to get frustrated with Trump. I'm not saying, I'm not making an opinion on that. That's from what I've been looking at. And this is part of the reason why as well. Apparently, Indian officials say India will buy Russian oil despite Trump's threats. So, a top aide to Trump has accused India of financing Russia in their war with Ukraine. Just 24 hours ago, India officials said India will buy Russian oil despite Trump threats. This is why I think we may see, again, right now we've got tariffs going live again, and there is still the lingering possibility of trade war, which people are uncertain about, but also this war between Russia and Ukraine is still ongoing, and that's still also causing some clashingness. I've not got the right choice of words, but I think, again, it's once all coming down to war, uncertainty, FUD, drives the markets right now. That's why the stock market's down quite a lot. I'll have a much better idea of the market, of course, when I speak to my VIPs tomorrow and we go through the institutional documentation and what they're looking at right now and how they believe the market's going to react. From what I've been seeing from the the big top gods, the continual bullish people, being Tom Lee, being Cathie Wood, they're all saying that maybe not so much August, but we are still on the cusp of seeing a big move. Tom Lee's still calling it 250k Bitcoin. Now, quite a lot to offer right now. You're expecting a 2x in Bitcoin effectively from where it's at right now, if not a little more than that right now, 250k Bitcoin. I'm not an institution. I haven't got trillions of dollars of capital, so I cannot confirm a 250k Bitcoin. I think 150k is very possible according to the M2 money supply, if you align that up properly. 150k is very, very possible. 250k possible? Who knows? Who really knows? I think 250k is possible if the cycle extends into 2026 quite comfortably. Like, you're just seeing end of Q1, maybe even Q2 2026, then I think 250k Bitcoin is possible. Otherwise, then I would be surprised for that. Cathie Wood's also very bullish on Bitcoin, of course. She still believes the market's still on the cusp of an uptrend, and I think that much. I agree with that much. I think that we're in an uptrend for the most part, going through a small corrective period. We'll see Bitcoin hopefully regain 115k over the coming days. Again, we'll see how Armageddon week ends up falling out. And we'll go from there. I have been talking to you all for long. I haven't even gone through all the questions, and even the Kaspa content just yet. I do apologize for that. Let me go through quick fire the questions real quickly. LB, welcome back, bro. On the check-in, Kryptoni, what's up, brother? And YouTube Buffalo Theory, what's up, Z Short, my man? And YouTube Mila, welcome back. Having a great weekend so far. I hope H-bar chart looks rigged. Yeah, it is a little bit, you know, it does look a little bit weird. I'd argue Algorand's chart looks a little bit worse, truth be told. But I think both assets are, because they're ISO 20022 nature and they're working togetherness with bigger institutions and governments, they'll be okay. Again, do your own research. I know, and I already can hear and see Kryptoni typing out the trash symbol. Proof of stakes, proof of scams, I know. But I hold some of these assets. You know, I hold XRP, I hold SUI. Do I trust them wholeheartedly? No. But I do see them making money. In fact, I spoke about XRP in the past, and actually I think I mentioned to you a lot. I can't remember if I did, but I in accordance to the current move for XRP, seeing this bottom down here, Fib retracement tool drawn up here, I anticipated we see a reversal and hopefully some momentum around this $2.79. And this is just me proving that, again, it's not holy grail, right? But this is one element of TA that I do like. I do, for the most part, I don't want to say rely, but I do use the Fib retracement tool. If you know how to set it up, you get your golden pocket here. It's quite a good indicator for me, because you saw XRP momentarily dip within that golden pocket and then is now start reversing. So it can be a good place to potentially look into putting some buy orders in or sell orders, depending on how you set it up. Again, you do your own research. The XRP is currently up 5.3%. Good for XRP. It lost that $3 peg. I'm sure it'll get it back. I'm sure XRP is still going to do very, very well this cycle. Is it trustworthy? Again, that's up to you to determine. But they do have connections to governments. They're going to be part of the US Strategic National Stockpile, the reserve, the treasury that they're going to be eventually bringing out. XRP will be there alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana and I think ADA as well. Might even have some Doge in there, I think, as well, if I remember correctly. So XRP, I think, is still going to do well. Do I trust the asset? Not necessarily, but I do think it will make gains. That's what I'm looking for. I don't always have to trust what I hold. I make the argument sometimes like, do I trust Elon Musk? No. Would I buy Tesla? Yes. I don't hold Tesla, full disclosure, but it's the argument I'd make. I don't have to trust something to see that there's enough influence behind it for me to potentially make gains from it, you know? But yeah, Kaspa definitely looks a lot more organic, I give you much. I'm a Bitcoin Maxi J, can't you tell? Haven't I been screaming it loud enough? Oh, I know you are. I know you are, definitely. What's up, Van? Hope you do very well. After smart contract, we will moon. I think, and again, I made a video on that, which is after the announced smart contracts from Casplex, the confirmed date of 31st of August, we saw a 20% move. So, logically speaking, there's a possibility that ahead of smart contracts, even a few days before smart contracts, or even on the launch of smart contracts, you'll see a move. I'd like to believe of similar magnitude, if not a little bit more so. It depends. We're seeing a lot of building right now, which is really, really good. We'll get to that in a very short moment. So we could see a big move on smart contracts, especially if we get stablecoin listings, stablecoin launching on Kaspa as well. And yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic, I'll put it that way. But again, don't be emotional, but logical. If it doesn't happen straight away, doesn't mean that Kaspa's done for. It's a foundation building, but you need to see volume continually come in. And you're seeing it come in, actually, which is when I'm now going to get into the content before I get into more questions. So we're seeing already a lot of developments taking place, good things taking place. cashbacks are doing very well, and we're seeing hopefully a lot more coming through in due time. The smart contracts, again, only 28 days away now. IGRA Labs here have just achieved their first million blocks that were mined on Caravel, their testnet, which is huge news. Up next is running first batch of internal attesters, so testers basically. So that'll be happening. So if that goes all smoothly, they believe that they're basically giving a week to these testers, a week to 2 weeks. So if everything goes smoothly, we should be seeing IGRA testnet going live next week or the following week, if it all goes smoothly. Either way, 1 million blocks mined on Caravel, fantastic news, great stuff. And this is, again, it's all testing stuff, but it's a testament to what will come in the future, right? And those who are, I've had questions about it, and you know what? I'm so happy IGRA posted this as well, because actually now I have some clarity as well. Apparently, Casplex aren't doing a wrap token. That's from what we've been hearing from Kaspa on them as well. So, which also, I thought there was a wrap Kaspa for Casplex, but apparently not. IGRA are doing a wrapped Kaspa. They got ICAS. And people are a bit confused by that. Well, we've got a post here from IGRA. A map is the greatest of all epic poems. Its lines and colours show the realization of great dreams. And, you know, a little bit of, you know, quoting prophecy sort of stuff there. All cool. This is, I think, very important. Very good. So I'm going to give we can see here the diagram, right? Kaspa network into the block, in the Kaspa block here, which goes into the Atan node. So, you know, you've got the Kaspa node, the Atan archive, or ATAN. We're going to explain this all out, right? So you've got Kaspa network here, and you've got IGRA network here, and you've got the viaduct. The viaduct's very important. So this figure here, figure 1, IGRA node architecture. So in this image here, what we're seeing is various components of an IGRA node and data flow among them. So this here is the viaduct. The viaduct component acts as the bridge for sequencing to processing. It reads off the sequencing from the base layer. So it reads off what it sees from the left side here, from the Kaspa network to the Kaspa node into the viaduct here. It reads off that, unwraps itself, and then validates the IGRA transaction and passes them to the EVM engine. So it literally has all the information here from the Kaspa network through the viaduct and then puts it into the EVM engine, the Ethereum Virtual Machine Engine. The base architecture removes the need for such bridging in the other direction. So it doesn't need to go back as well. So basically, IGRA's network goes here, their blocks go to the EVM network, it goes to the IGRA gate and the EVM wallet and whatnot, and go back and forth. And the stuff from IGRA goes to the Kaspa wallet and goes back into it. So there's no, so it's all, IGRA stuff is all like, it's kind of almost all one way in a sense. But the viaduct is there to allow the sequencing into the processing element. Since wrap transactions can be directly posted to the base layer, we only need to bridge to wrap them without any further processing. All IGRA need to do is basically wrap them, and it all goes back, you know, full circle, and you receive it very seamlessly. This is actually a, you know, for me, quite a meticulous design, and I think it's a very good design as well, also keeping as much centralization as possible as well. And they highlight, in this section, provide the detailed amount of all the components to combine into the IGRA network here. So I'm not going to read it all, you know, read from PowerPoint, because I think it's also worth people reading it for themselves and trying to create an understanding of it. But I'll post this in my Discord community, my free Discord server, and also retweet it on my Twitter page as well. But this here is basically a diagram with some explanations here on how the IGRA node architecture works. From the network here to the EVM engine to the IGRA gate, and then, you know, you've got the EVM wallet here as well, which you can connect into, or even the Kaspa wallet here, which, you know, Kaspa transactions are wrapping on IGRA. So it's being wrapped on IGRA, goes to Kaspa wallet, but Kaspa's network can read the wrap tokens. That's how it's been set up. It can read the wrap tokens, and it goes through the viaduct, and the viaduct always does is just sequencing it and puts it back into the EVM engine. So it's a very good design. And again, this is one thing I do thoroughly love about IGRA, is they have been very transparent in everything they're trying to do, which, you know, while I am just your, you know, KOL, internet funny man, Kaspa lover, and I'm not tech, so therefore my understanding will definitely be a lot more limited to other people's, I can generate an understanding from this, and that in itself, just even the image alone, will make me more trustworthy of them. Like, just have more belief in how the network works, and therefore more confidence in where my money's going. Because you don't want to use something you don't know where it's going to go. That's why people are increasingly getting very worried about banks. If you put, let's just say 100k into a bank, or even just 20k into a bank, and you want to remove that whole capital, they won't let you do that. Either because they haven't got the money there, or because they don't want, they won't let you do that. But if you wanted to do that here, first of all, you can do it because you own money, decentralize your own money, but also you can see exactly how it works, as opposed to a third-party entity having full control of it and you have no idea the system works. So Igloo are cooking right now, and we'll see a lot more coming out. Again, 1 mil blocks mined, fantastic stuff. And then we've got into the actual title of the stream finally here, which is regarding the shift of Bitcoin Maxi. We've got this first post here from Peter, forgetting his surname, Schiff, which we're going to get into this, and then get into this stuff here as well. Going full circle to the post here, which we'll come back to in a second here, from Lucky. Lucky's been an OG Bitcoin Maximalist since 2015, and he has 2.2 million followers. He's the biggest Bitcoin Maxi that I think I've seen on Twitter, besides Michael Saylor, of course. But you can see in the post here, Kaspa is aiming for a spectacular move. From the chart here, highlighting, it will eventually break out of this trend here, uptrend here, going past at least its all-time highs. That's at least how he's put it out right now. How big will the move be again? We'll have to wait and see, but we'll come back full circle to this post here. But this is a big Bitcoin Maxi. He's been talking about Kaspa actually for over a year now, actually. He's one of the actually earlier Bitcoin Maxi, which is a big deal. Now, he does actually make posts on other assets as well, but still a big deal. Either way, let's come back full circle to this post here, which I think is quite interesting. It's a little live face here with Peter, talking about Bitcoin and, Bitcoin's, I guess, shortcomings, and effectively how Kaspa solves that. So listen very closely here to this interesting live.
Yeah, I agree with you. Peter, look, real quick, because I know there's a lot of people that want to get in this chat. I want to be considerate of them. Listen, because of you, you inspired me to get into gold and silver. I love you for that. And I loved the arguments that you had with Max Kaiser years ago on Bitcoin. I remember the one that you had with him when you told him that a better mousetrap would come along other than Bitcoin. And just to throw this out to you, there is a better mousetrap. It's called KASPA, Kaspa.
I don't want to promote other tokens on the thing.
No. I know, but we're talking about Bitcoin as well, and I just wanted to throw it out there. I've never forgotten that argument you had with Max Kaiser. It was hilarious.
Yeah, he was.
But
Of course, Bitcoin was like $6,000 back then. So
yeah,
he's still laughing at me because he's made a lot of money.
definitely. Well, look, Peter Schiff, thank you so much, man. I love you. Keep it up.
All right.
I'll be joining your chats more often. Thank you, man.
Yeah, sure. Bitcoin has gone up a lot, and I know that a lot.
I personally found that quite interesting. Well, again, understandably, you don't want to show other assets on his space. Bitcoin's Bitcoin. You can talk about Bitcoin. Everyone can talk about Bitcoin. When it comes to altcoins, if you're a very kind of big name like he is, you don't want to talk about too much other stuff. Of course, this Peter, he's very big on the whole, the gold and stuff like that. Holding the real safe assets, which is very traditional, which he is traditional, and talking about again Bitcoin shortcomings, which we just heard. But those shortcomings that Kaspa does fix, which we are aware of. Now, of course, some Bitcoin maxis are just fairly too stubborn. Which you've got this, summary post here from Wolfie in response to this post from Casper King. Shout out to you, where he's got blocked by 2 Bitcoin maxis, which fair play to him. Not the biggest account, but he's got blocked by 2 Bitcoin maxis. So evidently they just can't handle the heat, if you will. 2 Bitcoin maxis, who strongly believe that Bitcoin is the only crypto worth anything. They blocked a lot of Kaspa community members. I don't know if I've been blocked. Not that I've checked or bother checking or personally even care. I don't really care too much for Adam Beck or even Rosette. I'm sure in person they're nice people, but I don't need to associate myself with people who don't align with my interests or will make my life harder. I don't feel like I need to prove anything. If they want to hear about Kaspa and they ask me to tell them about Kaspa, I'll tell them what I know and then dive into someone like Shai or the actual devs, someone who has a lot more technical expertise. But if they want to talk about it, then why would I don't personally feel like I need to waste my energy or time. Some people are better people than me. Kaspa Silva, namely, who has spoken to Roget in an interview, in a debate. And I think he did a very, very good job, a fantastic job. One few highlights here. Shame on Bitcoin Maxis for being overly dismissive of all other projects, labeling them shitcoins without consideration. This attitude ignores innovative advancements in this space, such as Kaspa's block DAG architecture with fast 100 millisecond block times, and clings to the belief that Bitcoin's slower, more limited design, which 70 PS 10-minute blocks, is the only valid or useful application of distributed ledger technology for all of mankind for all time. This rigid perspective stifles open discussion and progress in the broader crypto ecosystem, and I couldn't agree more. The issue, and you know what? I'll make a very extreme case for this. Under the last administration, and it's not a dig at the last administration either, but under Biden, under Gary Gensler, that administration, that SEC, they stifled everything with crypto. BlackRock filed for a Bitcoin ETF in June or July 2023. The SEC took 6 months till January 2024 to approve that, and they only approved it because they were forced by BlackRock, basically. Because BlackRock always win. The SEC only, at the very last resort, said Bitcoin fine, you're a commodity because you're fair launch. And even then, Ethereum was very hit or miss. And then they went to war with Coinbase, with Kraken, with Robinhood, with Ripple, with everything, right? They went after everybody. The old SEC. They were stifling innovation. They were dismissive without necessarily understanding everything about these assets or these, institutions, if you will. Now, I'm not saying that they were right or wrong. The point being is they were overly dismissive, and you could hear their arguments as well. In regards to XRP, for example, because I did follow the lawsuit. You can say what you will about XRP. Again, not the point here. The point being is they're making arguments about XRP by it being a security. But all the arguments that are made against them, all the evidence, which eventually was ruled by Judge Torres, is the sales of XRP in the particular instance did not contribute to a security violation. So therefore, that was actually more so a commodity transaction. But therefore, but the SEC, time and time again, kept going down the same road, and it came to the realization they know they couldn't win. So what they did is start just delaying. I'm making the extreme example here that Bitcoin Maxis are in a very similar boat right now. These particular Bitcoin Maxis, where a lot of coins out there, granted you can still hold onto your Bitcoin Maxi beliefs because, again, your XRPs are centralized. That ruins your initial perception and vision of how crypto and how decentralized money should really move. That's the argument you can make, right? But you have Kaspa, fair launch like Bitcoin, proof of work like Bitcoin, no pre-allocations like Bitcoin had. The only difference to Kaspa to Bitcoin is the architecture of being blocked outside the blockchain and the very, very high emission schedules, which is also possible due to the pruning feature that was introduced, so therefore you haven't got to go through the archival nodes. Those differences, because of that, and also then Bitcoin Maxis continuously love to talk about price for Kaspa as well, forgetting that Bitcoin itself also had pullbacks. It's early, it's a 3-year-old project. I think Bitcoin Maxis increasingly are becoming more and more like the old SEC in the sense of they are so held strong on their belief that they don't like crypto, or they don't. Well, yeah, SEC didn't like crypto. Bitcoin Maxis don't like anything else but Bitcoin. They are just outright refusing everything without even looking into it properly. The SEC didn't look into anything properly. If they did, he would have probably won some more lawsuits. They didn't. They won few and far between, and the ones they did end up winning, when they ended up finding out the SEC was completely wrong with most of the stuff, most of the lawsuits came back up again and they lost. So I think Bitcoin Maxis, in particular these two, Adam and Rajet, it would be worth them just at least looking into it. I'm not saying all cryptos, but in regards to at least Kaspa, which is why you're seeing more Bitcoin Maxis like Lucky talking about it. You're seeing people like Vlad, who's going to be doing an interview with Son Polinsky in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And he makes a post here, a very lengthy post here, talking about his interview with Roger Ver was the turning point when I left the Church of Bitcoin Maxis. In fact, I started questioning it when the culture became obviously non-libertarian during the pandemic. Talking about, again, actually, just what we're talking about here. Gary Killer's SEC to label everything other than Bitcoin as an unregistered security. It is I didn't even to make the point here as well, defending KYC and weird surveillance practices by saying that at least the service is Bitcoin only and doesn't support any shitcoins. But it's just, again, don't get me wrong, there are some projects out there that are probably, not even projects, a lot of projects out there are scams. I'm not discrediting that. And some you shouldn't have belief in, not sure you don't have belief in, but, you know, Bitcoin Maxis went from worshipping Satoshi Nakamoto and the peer-to-peer electronic cash to now worshipping Michael Saylor. Because he has now become the figurehead of Bitcoin with MicroStrategy and buying so much of it. They've now changed from Bitcoin to ultimate form of money to Bitcoin as the ultimate way to make gains through a store of value, which is fair, but then you're not true to what Bitcoin's meant. That's not Bitcoin's white paper does not say we're here to be a store of value to make you insane gains. No, that's be the new form of currency, new form of money. Bitcoin can't do that. And you've got people who are like Vlad, who is working up to that. A true Bitcoin maximum who's working up to that. Bitcoin is not the omnipotent, all-saying, you know, the best thing ever. It's not. It's fantastic, but it has shortcomings. Everything has flaws. And you've got people like Lucky, 2.2 million followers, who's saying the big move's coming for Kaspa, and I believe it, because Kaspa's undervalued at anything. And you've got so much internal development coming through of Igra, of Caplex, also not far off as well. And they also got the big developments coming through like this as well. You know, we'll get to this post in a moment. Actually, we'll get into it right now, you know, a little, I guess, feet finder joke here as well. This part right here, so much excitement, it made my toes wiggle. You got Vijay, the converted Bitcoin Maxi to now Kaspa Maxi as well. And Kappa Silver transacting at internet speed. You can real time here send a transaction to each other. Showcasing it right here. That is instant, insane stuff from east to west coast as well. They're not local to each other. On the layer 1, no custodian, no lightning network, no layer 2, a true peer-to-peer transaction. That's what's currently possible with proof of work, with Kaspa's proof of work. Nothing else can achieve this. Everything else got to go through a layer 2 sequencer. It's centralized. You've got other big stuff being built. Crumpet Media, breaking news, a new multifunctional swap is being built with Kaspa's EVM layer 2, and it's in test net, and it'll be going live apparently tomorrow. I've added a handful of faucets and testers to claim if they're asking the community, it should include more. So you've got here, ClearSwap being the project as well. So, you know, and again, another very, very cool element coming through as well. You can see a little screenshot of that right here. Ultimately, it's a multifunctional swap natively built on the Kaspa EVM. Which is fantastic stuff. So we've seen that hopefully come out tomorrow. That could be, again, more stuff being built. Fantastic. Love to see that. You got Alex, who's been building this Twitter X, like a Kaspa page, basically, which some people, some content creators have been signing up to it. I think Blockchain Banter did. I think Chris Hutchison did as well. I probably need to do it myself as well, honestly. I'll probably get around to that sometime this week, hopefully. But, you know, a lot of people have tested on the first version, which is fantastic stuff. They're still in the early testing phase, so it's still very, very early doors. But, again, it is a sign for what's to come. This sort of innovation being built on Kaspa is fantastic. You know, how you can make posts on a Kaspa native Twitter page, basically. And it highlights here TLDR. VROM is a protocol, not a service. It's completely free to post. You don't need to pay 1 Kaspa per post. This session seems to have said already. So yeah, people thought you had to spend 1 Kaspa per post. No, you can post for free. But the protocol operates. So you basically create an account, post, story, and unsubscribe are transactions to the user's own wallet, with any amount the user chooses, which is returned to their wallet. The user only pays the gas fee of the Kaspa transactions. So 0 for a post, 0 does not equal 1. Comment like a subscriber transactions from the user's wallet to the wallet of the person they are commenting on, liking, or subscribing. User can set any minimum amount for these transactions plus a gas fee. So it looks like posting, fine. Comment and liking, subscribing, those form of elements seem to have some form of, that's, you know, you can choose how much you want to basically pay to show appreciation of the post they make. This transaction flows enables the protocol to function fully without requiring a custom indexer. To track protocol related transactions, it allows users to support creators by sending Kaspa directly through protocol transactions. So it's basically that. So whereas I make posts occasionally on my Twitter, like the one I made about this one here, Kaspa Smart Contracts are going to be crazy when they release it next month. You know, 1.5 engagements, not bad, I'll say for myself. You get, so people can just view that for free, fine. But then if you want to comment, retweet, or like it, then you end up paying a gas fee, and that's basically supporting the content creator. Now, understandably right now, I don't think it's going to take off too much just yet, because people for the most part want to hold onto their Kaspa, which is fine. But this is something that I think will take off a lot more in the future as, you know, Kaspa goes more and more in value, more people come on chain, and these sort of, you know, innovative designs is just a way where you can show appreciation for people's work. You could have like the posts that I have made and other people have made who are like Kaspa Daily, for example. He makes a lot of fantastic posts. Kaspa Daily makes a lot of fantastic posts, very informative posts highlighting, you know, like these sort of stuff here. Like people who don't check the CashFi, you know, you can then find out what's happening with Kaspa wallet transactions in real time, basically, when he posts about them. It's really, really cool. Talking about how much about to be liquidated, $22 million are short to be liquidated if it does reach above 9.5 cents, which we're at 8.5 right now. You got other posts from sorry, I just punched my mic. Proselyte, who makes like threads basically about something was happening on Kaspa, big transactions, whatever's happening like that. Equally, and this post, you know, Jack Dorsey warning about Bitcoin becoming irrelevant in the future. You can, as a viewer, you know, maybe not realizing that Jack Dorsey, of all people, the same, Bitcoin could be like, oh wow, fantastic! I didn't know about that. Someone who's very notable in the space is highlighting Bitcoin shortcoins due to its lack of it becoming irrelevant because of, again, its lack of use case as a medium of exchange. Great. Well, I'll send you 2-3x amount of Kaspa as appreciation for now me knowing more. Early days for Kaspa, very early days, but much more is coming out, and it's still in testnet right now. Here's a sort of map as well. You can see how it goes. So start, post, transaction fees only, subscribe. That's when you. So subscribing goes to the other user. Unsubscribing, it's already back to you. Liking and commenting also to the user in question. By the way, then everything is just retained to you. You've got other stuff as well. Speaking of social media platforms, you've got another person here, Ari Leo Murder, the sheep cat, who also seems to be building a social media platform on Kaspa as well. So you've got another one here as well. So you've got a Twitter one being built, and another one here which looks more so like a Instagram one, maybe. I don't know. But more, again, there could be a whole plethora of social media platforms. If you think about it, you've got Insta, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, or Meta now. You've got loads of different platforms out there. There hasn't got to be just one. There might be one better one, but you haven't got just one. So you see more of being built on Kaspa, which I think is fantastic. And then, before I get to the questions, coming back full circle to the very beginning of the stream as well, OKX. Now, full disclosure, this OKX page is more so like Binance Square, where it's not actually OKX himself posting it, but someone who's posting it on an OKX kind of public forum. But either way, this being published on OKX's page is still a good way to make the connection between OKX and Kaspa. We know OKX has been talking to Kaspa almost like Binance has been doing for over a year now. And we did see a post similarly on OKX, which talked about how to buy Kaspa on OKX. We've seen Circle do that. No, not Circle. We saw Crypto.com doing that. We've seen Binance do that. So you got here a post from the newsfeeder. Happened about last Monday, I think it was. Kaspa blockchain revolutionizing speed and scalability with the Ghost technology. Again, just a little bit of a rundown about what it is, the key benefits to it, unparalleled transaction speed and scalability. The stuff that we should already know as Kaspa holders, but this being posted on OKX's kind of public page, if you will, is reassuring. Reassuring is how I'm going to put it. Reassuring. And again, I think OKX are one such tier 1 exchange like Binance who are preparing for a Kaspa listing. Once that pump does come through, you know, will it happen after the all-time high? Will it happen during the rally to the all-time high? We don't know, of course. We can't say for sure. We've been waiting for a long time. I try not to cover too much tier 1 listing stuff anymore unless it's a definitive announcement, because, you know, it's like clockwork. We're saying, oh, it'll come, it'll come. Everyone's tired of hearing it will come. They want to hear it is here. I get it. I get it more than anybody else, trust me. But I do think OKX, like Binance, have been looking at Kaspa for a long, long time. I think OKX the venture of OKX are working with the KEF as well. Binance have been with Kaspa since 2023 December, and they're still talking to the team right now. So I'd like to hope that in this cycle, it makes for me logical sense that in this cycle, Binance will list, OKX will follow quickly afterwards, and then other big exchanges, be your Crypto.coms, your Geminis, etc., might also want to jump on the bandwagon. You might even see Coinbase make the surprising move, because I think Coinbase will always be very, very late. But the challenges right now, as highlighted here, which I think is fair enough, is education and awareness, which again, That's a fair point. Bitcoin Maxis now being educated, fantastic. And that's also going to help getting more adoption. And if you've got Bitcoin Maxis talking about Kaspa, and big Bitcoin Maxis like Lucky as well, the tier 1 listeners will see that as a reassuring sign. If you've got Bitcoin Maxis like Lucky, 100k views on that post, talking about Kaspa aiming for a big move, that's going to drive more FOMO. Incentivize tier 1 listeners to start listing. If you get big accounts like that talking about Kaspa, if big tier 1s know that, knowing there's going to be starting some FOMO for Kaspa to start rallying soon, they're going to want to get ahead of that. You've got strategic partnerships as well, which again, you've got KRI, you've got some market makers with the KF as well. You'll see more, I'm sure, coming out. And you've got continued innovation. Kaspa, of course, is continuing to innovate more and more, trying to catch up and stay ahead of its competitors, which I'm sure it'll be able to do. In conclusion, Kaspa's innovative approach to blockchain technology, powered by its block DAG architecture and ghosted consensus mechanism, sets it apart from traditional systems. With unparalleled transaction speeds, robust security, and a commitment to continuous improvement, Kaspa is well positioned to address the challenges and scalability and efficiency in the blockchain space. Its ecosystem grows, adoption increases, Kaspa could play a pivotal role in shaping the future of decentralized applications and financial systems. And I think that's a very nice conclusion, and I couldn't say better myself. Kaspa, I think, has all to play for. I'd argue Kaspa is probably the most speculative asset out there. It's got the hardest hill to climb with the lack of, mainstream adoption, if you will, but also the strongest tech out there to where, and again, that adoption, that recognition is coming thanks to Bitcoin Maxis. So more Bitcoin Maxis starting to recognize Kaspa, that's the problem we need. Kaspa's keep talking about Kaspa Maxis talk about Kaspa continuously, like we're doing, we're sharing it all the time. Not because we want people to pump our bags per se, but because we believe in it. And I don't think most of us talk regarding about your XRPs or that sort of stuff to the maximalist there, right? The only project I see Kaspa Maxis tend to talk about or talk to is Bitcoin Maxis. Not because we want to say you're wrong, but because we are like, this is what we're currently seeing right now. This is what we're currently seeing right now with Kaspa and sticking true to what Bitcoin's doing. So if you just to take the if you look at Vijay, he took 5 minutes, Vijay, to look into Kaspa. He did a Google AI, Google Gemini, Google ChatGPT search on Kaspa to get his initial the ball rolling, and that ChatGPT thing was enough for him to okay, I think I'll do a bit more research into Kaspa now. Now, of course, I'm not saying you trust AI seamlessly and, like the Holy Bible or anything like that, but it's quite evident that those people who don't know about Kaspa haven't looked into it at all. The amount of Bitcoin Maxis I've seen who's like, Kaspa's a shitcoin. And it's like, why is it? Have you looked into it at all? No. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? It's like me saying, I don't like apples. Well, have you had apple before? No. How do you know you don't like apples? Just do. The maths ain't mathsing. It's not making sense. You can't just say you don't like something without experiencing it for yourself or seeing proof of it. Like, it doesn't make sense. So, and again, but that facade, that illusion, that wall is being broken down now. With people like this, people like VJ, talking more and more about Kaspa, that's going to help as well with its price. I'd argue, and I think people in my community talk about it as well, I'd argue that Bitcoin, when they talk about Kaspa more and more, is a bigger catalyst for smart contracts. Because smart contracts coming out is fantastic. Stablecoin is fantastic. Tier 1 is fantastic. Bitcoin Maxis shitting Kaspa is also what helped bring those things, or it helps bring like tier 1 listings. The FOMO off that would be a lot better if Bitcoin Maxis are talking about it preemptively beforehand. Smart contracts will be fantastic if you get more Bitcoin Maxi level capital trading on the platform, because Bitcoin Maxis are holding Bitcoin for store value. If they're holding Kaspa, they want to utilize it at the moving trade. They want to test it and see if it works properly, as people have been talking about. So Bitcoin Maxi comes to Kaspa. Some of us are holding it as a store of value. Don't want to really use it at all, and that's fair. That's fine. I'll want to use it personally. I want to see how it works. But Bitcoin Maxis who are shifting their capital from Bitcoin to Kaspa, they want to utilize Kaspa as another hedge against Bitcoin, good ROI potential, but also to see if it actually just live up to its true name of being a really quick internet speed crypto project, crypto protocol. So you'll see transactions come through. So Bitcoin Maxis coming early will also help smart contracts as well. Now that is a long tangent, and I've not gone to any questions, so I'll get through them as quick as I can do. Not many Bitcoin maxis are smart as you, Tony. That's also true. Tony is our cute little legend. Welcome back, Nessie. Hope you're doing very well. And you too, Didi and Mila. I've already said that as well. Pygod's Nacho's pumping. Yeah, we can look at KYC 20 real quickly as well. Here's some wallets, buying and selling whatnot. I think we saw wallet 2 buy more. Might be mistaken. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I missaw. This was on the... Yeah, that's been a few days now. Yeah. See right now the KRC 20s. Nacho's coming up 22% at 15.5 million market cap, which is fantastic. Again, those who... I don't like saying it this way because it doesn't sound... I don't want to say those who listen to me because that's not the point I'm trying to make, but people who heard me talk about Nacho and, back when it was sub 10 mil, because we were speaking about Nacho for a while. We've known about Nacho for a very, very long time, but I mentioned how I hold only select numbers of memes in this community right now. I might expand in the future, but I'll hold a select number. And I mentioned how I was talking about Nacho when it was down at 8 mil. It's 8 mil, like down here. Still got a long way to go to return to its all-time high of 73 odd mil. Long way to go. But if you got in at 8 mil or sub 10 mil, I think it's a very good spot to be in. Again, that's not financial advice. But from what I know about Nacho, how deeply ingrained they are into the whole Kaspa protocol and community, to Igros, to Casplexes, to Zeal, to Wolfie, to Kaspa.com, like they are also an integral part to most of the dexes being built on Kaspa as well. They've got their little paws into everywhere. That for me is enough to generate, more revenue for them, more adoption for them, more demand for them, and that will also help its price going up as well. And with that, Kaspa end up inevitably rallying in value, getting big listings as well. Nacho will follow in suit. I'm sure Nacho have got some listings lined up, but they're waiting for the market to be in the conditions for it to happen. So, that's just Nacho. There's many more projects in this space I think do very, very well, which, again, you do your own research. End of the day, I'm not here to show these memes. That's not my point here. I'm not here to show anything. You do your own research. Almost sold in the dip. Well, glad you didn't. You see smart contracts, sell the news event, then pump like crazy with rate cuts. I think you'll see a buy. I think you'll see a buy ahead of it. Truth be told, and then you'll see maybe a pullback off the back of smart contracts going live. Depends on how successful it is, or unsuccessful it is. And then rate cuts, we'll have to see. Right now, we still have no confirmation of rate cuts coming through. We believe it's going to happen, but we still don't know. It will depend heavily on the next couple of macro data as well. Drinking champagne is very sophisticated. Are you a European man? Hey, you know what? It's either champagne or it's Prosecco. Now, I'm not a fan of either. If I have them, I honestly have to have OJ with the orange juice because I like me a Bucks Fizz. I'm a Brit. Brits drink. I think I'm on the lower side, truth be told. I don't think I'm as bad, but at the same time, I'm quite confident that if I was to go to America, I probably would, being just Brit, would probably drink more than most people. That's not a competition. It's not a test or a call to challenge. That's not nothing like that. Point being is Europeans and Brits, they drink. If you're an American and you've left America for like one of the first times and you've gone to visit Europe, or especially Britain, you will know we drink. Like, it's 5 o'clock all the time, honestly. But yeah, I don't like the taste of champagne or Prosecco, so I Bucks Fizz that stuff up. Just another bit of information about me, I guess. Mr. Miles, welcome back, bro. MF first. As always, my man. Hugo, bro, welcome back to the stream, my man. Yes, indeed. No, Kaspa will be needed for gas fees. That's also true, right? There's a possibility you could see a bit of a pullback off the really smart contract, but at the same time, as Cryptony makes a very logical point there, because smart contracts come out, Kaspa has to be used Kaspa, especially Casplex don't have a wrapped Kaspa, so Kaspa uses the gas fee. So if people are using smart contracts, which means you have to use Kaspa for the gas fee for miner to mine, Kaspa's price, if it goes down, it wouldn't likely, in theory, be too drastic, if anything at all, because you see smart contracts come up, Kaspa therefore has more use case and actual demand and adoption. It'll go up. What's up, Art Zero, bro? Last chance to do some research into Bitcoin. That's fantastic if it's already got a 5x on that. Shout out to you, brother. I still am happy with the bags I have. So, maybe I missed out, is what it is. But again, Art seems to have popped off there, so if anyone wants to look at Qubit, I'm sure you could send a message or whatnot, or look into it yourself. It's not on CMC, it's not on CoinGecko, so you've got to find out for yourself. I'm not looked into it personally. I've just not had the time, and I'm happy with the bags I have. I've got other assets I'm looking into personally for my VIPs as well, which Qubit does not fall into that bracket, unfortunately. Golden pocket between 0.16, 0.5. I mean, everyone's golden pocket is a bit different. My golden pocket is that I when I was first looking into trading and whatnot, that's the golden pocket that I ended up learning from, because there are cases where the golden pocket will. I mean, it's another level of support. You know, golden pocket's at 0.618, but it can be a lot lower. But I typically find you can find it reverse around the 0.5 as well. When I was first looking into it, again, this is one of the first when I was first looking into trading and understanding TA. This is what like how when I looked into Fib retracements, that's what I discovered and learned, and I've been using it on and off for over a year, well, over 2, 3, 4 years, however long it's been right now, and it has always been quite accurate. Either it rebounds around 0.5, or I mean, again, it's not always accurate. It's not, again, a crystal ball, but it's got quite a good accuracy. 0.5 or 0.618. Again, everyone's can be different. Your trading strategy is your own. This one works for me. That's why I use it. That's just me personally, again. Also, why a broker to have a well bear market or bull market will thrive into the near future? No doubt about it. No doubt about it, indeed. The majority of Americans are not frustrated with Trump. That's a fact. Look at his overwhelming win and his approval numbers. I mean, this is, again, I'm not in America, so I don't know how America perceives it. I'm just stating from what I've seen through social media, which is obviously catered to my British media. And I think, for the most part, anybody who's not in America is frustrated with Trump, from what I have heard. Now, again, be it as it may, that's not the point. I'm not here to talk politics. I read through enough of that on my Discord server, and I don't want to bring it up. I do not hate them for existence. I hate them for straying from the ethos of Bitcoin. Yeah, exactly. You don't hate Bitcoin Maxis for that. You hate them for, again, changing the idea of what Bitcoin's meant to be. It doesn't make sense. Triple Humlet Buff, best beer in the world. I'm personally, and it's not even, I personally like either a Red Stripe, if it's from the tap, or I like Asahi, a Japanese beer. Red Stripe's a Jamaican lager, and Asahi's a Japanese beer, and I think both of those are brilliant. They rely on third-party validations like Google or Amazon websites. They don't have money to buy. A large share of the network for voting power and control. Proof of stake is rigged AF. Oh yeah, I mean, again, I know your perception of proof of stakes, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. That's why I said you don't have to hold them or believe in them. That's perfectly fine. I just hold them because I see a way to make money off that. I put in enough that I'm willing to risk, and hopefully I'll pay off soon. Mine's been shifting constantly. Buffalo, truth be told, my percentage of holding. Originally it was like I sell 80, but now I'm not so sure, because again the cycle's just so out of whack. Who knows where it's going to go? And also, Kaspa's big developments are coming out like mid 2026, Q2. So I'm like, do I want to potentially sell then if it does come? I don't know. So I'm gonna just play it by ear and probably I might take 50% out near the top, or just take profits or whatnot, and then just kind of DCA every dip and just keep trying to stack up more, Or cryptocurrency, yeah, I ain't selling. Wall Street vibes indeed. What's up, Wing Hong, bro? We moon yet? Not yet, but we're doing better today, which is good. Naka's up 12%. That's fantastic for Naka there. I will be trying. I apologize, family, if I skip through some of your questions. I am honestly, due to my weekend, I'm very sleep deprived. Very sleep deprived. I'm not sure you can tell my voice. I think I've done okay today, but I'm past the hour mark now, so I'll be going through some key questions. If I've missed a question, then please feel free to re-answer, save them and ask it again tomorrow, and I'll make sure to answer them. But yeah, I'm literally crashing out right now. Buy Bitcoin, some Kaspa and Tau after approximately a year after the dump started. Not a bad plan, brother. Honestly. I have to wait and see. You think Kaspa will peak at 48 cents? According to Pygos. I mean, maybe it does. Maybe it goes higher. I think it could go higher. if I'm being perfectly honest, but who knows? Who actually knows? We'll have to see again. It depends on the cycle tops and the level of adoption Kaspa gets. If the Bitcoin Maxis can really rally behind Kaspa as well, that'd be a big deal. Can Bitcoin Core update the block DAG? Upgrade to block DAG? I mean, in theory, yes, but will they? No. Or at least I think they can in theory. I think in theory, if they want to change the protocol, they have to vote on it, so they can. But will they? No, they've held strong the whole time. Bitcoin has been indefinitely of a hard fork for ages. And a lot of the argument Bitcoin Maxis use to why Bitcoin's great is because it has no hard fork. That's its shortcoming as well. It's not innovated. It's no different from Swift in that regard, therefore. But I'm sure Kryptonian will have a better idea than I do, at least, about that. Yeah, technically possible, but it's unlikely. Yeah, that's how I feel like it. The same case. XRP 9% allocated compared to Kaspa. Oh, yeah, again, I understand what my risk of holding XRP, but I see it. I mean, I'm currently, again, this is not me bragging about it, but I'm currently up like I've taken profits in XRP already, but I'm currently up like 6-7x in XRP because I got in when it was before the lawsuit, and I do think it'll go higher as well. So that's not a brag. It's just me saying I'm highlighting why I'm holding it. I'm highlighting. I know what I'm holding, I know the risk to it, and I'm willing to take the risks. But yeah, saying it's a scam is also your opinion, and I think you're perfectly entitled to have that opinion. I don't necessarily think you're wrong. I've seen the co-founder, Chris Larson, dump a lot of his XRP holding at the top. Doesn't feel more confident about the project at all. Maybe miss Gary. Tom's Bubble was way too far ahead of his time. Oh, Gary, this now, bro. Just reading more questions real quickly. I was talking about AI. I was talking to my AI about Kaspa and how it prunes the database. It's just that some AI researchers have been looking at how Kaspa does this and how to implement the principle into AI to expand and extend expensive long-term instructions for users. That would be interesting. I think Kaspa's going to actually set the benchmark to a lot of innovation going forward. I think most projects once Kaspa makes its name for itself, most projects will start trying to follow in Kaspa's footsteps. That's what I think is going to happen. I'm so sorry, family. I'm crashing. I mean, yeah, I know Kryptonian is talking about how Kaspa could actually shock a lot of people. You know, what Ethereum did in its first cycle, and obviously, yeah, Cardano did a 30x as well, like in the Q4. And again, it's all possible. You have to wait and see, you know? Kaspa Tech is so impressive, our researchers are studying it. That's something. It does, indeed. It's insane. If we want memes, not tech. Actually, not necessarily anymore, Zero. And I understand why you think that's because, I mean, and then, you know, my shameless plug and brag, but it's again, you're not part of the VIP. If you're in the VIP, the institutions, which is, you know, we're not in a retail market anymore. Retail still care about memes, sure, but we're not in a retail market, we're in an institutional market. They don't give a crap for memes. They don't. You know, they're all looking at tech. They're all looking at AI, they're looking at Gen AI, they're looking at tech, they're looking at yield, ways to generate yield from assets, tokenizing everything on a blockchain. They don't care for memes. So while this for me might be the last meme coin cycle, you'll still see memes do well for the most part of them. Some dojos will be about Pepe, whatever it may be, but this is probably the last like pump fund degen meme cycle, because then tech's going to take over. Memes is for the retail market, tech's for everything. So again, it's part of the VIP, shameless plug, I know, but here you'll be seeing the research documents posted there every week. Alpha information, all that sort of stuff from institutional documents, looking at what they're looking at, the projects they're looking at, the protocols, what they're aiming for. It's not memes. It's not. But again, that's not saying memes don't do well. People are still looking at memes right now. I mean, again, in my VIP, we've put some meme pics in there. Just a meme coin and Uranus with 2 pics in there. Been a 7x on one of them and 10x on the other one. Like, you can make gains on them and they're fantastic, but tech is taking over quickly. Yeah, I've definitely missed a hell of a lot of questions right now. I do apologize, family. Again, if you have a question, please feel free to save it and ask me tomorrow, and I will then as well, because I am unfortunately at my wit's end now. I love you all, family. Thank you all once more for always being here with me, tuning into the Kaspa Crypto live stream, tuning in for what more is coming as well. 1% of Bitcoin Maxi, Bitcoin market cap will put Kaspa up to $1 at current market cap. Oh yeah, I think Kaspa could reach 1% at least. That's my hope at least. Are you aware at this time on how to get a loan on Kaspa in the near future? No. Yeah, I know, I'm so behind chat. I'm also too tired to read through all of it. I'm actually starting to slur my words really badly. I think having only 2 hours sleep for the past 2 days is not good for me. So I'm going to get some well-needed rest and wake up tomorrow and hit the ground running. I'll make a video tomorrow as well. I'm not sure on what yet. Might be a general market video, might be a Kaspa video, might be a Zebec video, might be a new coin, who knows. I'll make a video tomorrow and do a live stream tomorrow as well at the usual time at 7 p.m. UTC. And I will, yeah. Sorry family, I am cooked. I don't know how Blockchain Banter Crew do this for 3-4 hours. Honestly, their conviction's better than mine. I respect them so much for that. With that being said, family, if you have questions, save them. I promise I'll get back to them tomorrow. If you enjoyed the stream, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. If you want to know about crypto and Kaspa and more information, a community, check out the VIP. Learn a lot more in there. Equally, check out the free Discord server just for a place to chill, chat, and learn more as well. We're also working with BYDFI, affiliate link where you can level up your trading game. Again, all links down in the description, also my Discord server as well. Have a great day, good evening, and good night, family. I'm going to get some well-needed rest. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care now.